your party's extension, you may dial it at any time during this message. If you are a dealer, press 1. For the parts department, press 1. For 0. Callers in the queue.
Traxxas support, this is Sam. May I get your zip code, please?
Yes, 91387.
Who am I speaking with, please?
Earl Moorhead.
And I can help you, Earl.
Well, I picked up 2 of the Xmaxx Ultimates, one in green and one in blue. And I was going through the bags and I didn't see the optional spur. According to your featured list, it's on there saying to achieve the 50 miles an hour, the optional spur is included.
Let's take a look here. I need to know what it is so I can get it for you.
Yep. I don't know if it was overlooked. I mean, I have the XRT, I have all of these things, and this is the first time it's had the steel gears, and I was like, well, maybe they overlooked something.
Well, all I'm going to say is 2 XRTs, show off.
Dude, they're a great truck. I converted one to the wide kit and the green one because I had a green wide kit laying around, and the thing's just an animal.
Well, I've had a little bit of wheel time on the regular one, and they're pretty just bonkers.
Yeah, I bought the regular one 2 months ago.
One of the guys that tests them, he said that the Ultimate one is just unbelievably good.
The steering's a lot more accurate. And the tires are amazing. The tires are I think, the best feature of that upgrade.
Talking to the department manager, because he got a chance to drive one of the Xmaxxes.
Uh-huh.
And he said, seriously, next time you have it apart, put the aluminum steering linkage on there. I said, oh, I will.
Yep.
He said, it's so much more precise.
It is.
Got me wanting one.
Yep, it definitely is. And the wide kit, it now replaces those with the plastic extended arms. So I'm hoping that they make the extended aluminum ones.
We do. I can get you a part number on that if you give me a second here. I'm still looking for that part number on that Europe's update. Let's see, where is it?
I know normally it's a 46 tooth, but I know they're steel now, so.
Yeah, the machine steel, so it's good stuff.
Yes.
50, but I want to make sure I'm right here. H&C, so that is, 20 and 50. Okay.
The 2050 gearing's the XRT, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the Xmaxx.
The manual to check it.
Yeah, the Xmaxx. Oh, for the links?
No, for the gearing for the XRT.
No, I have Xmaxxes.
Okay.
Mine are both Xmaxxes.
The Xmaxx.
It should be an 18 tooth 54 is what comes stock in it, and then the 46 should be the optional spur.
Okay, let's see. Well, while I'm here, let me go ahead and get the steering links for the aluminum part number here. Okay, so it's the the Xmaxx we're looking for parts for, not the XRT.
That's correct.
Okay, somehow I got crossed up and thought we were looking for XRT parts.
Probably because I said wide kit.
Okay, so it should be the 46 tooth spur is the one that's the high speed, because that's what.
Yes, to achieve the 50 miles an hour.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Okay, so for the green toe links, it's going to be 7897G.
And that's for the extended length ones?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get those ordered up through High Desert Hobby again.
Okay, get you that spur gear.
Yes, I need 2 of them. Both of them didn't come with it. the green or the blue one.
Okay.
I bought both.
Oh, we're going to get them for you. Let's see. Just to verify, Earl.
Ship them to my hobby shop because I'm in the middle of moving.
Yeah. We absolutely can do that. Give me just a second here. We'll Desert Hobbies.
Yeah, it's.
What's that address, please?
It's 790 West Avenue Q, Unit B, Palmdale, California, 93551.
Okay. Alright, got that updated.
We'll just put attention Earl on it.
I did.
Excellent.
442. Alright, those are on the way to your to the shop for you.
I appreciate it. What was your name?
My name is Sam.
Sam? I definitely appreciate it, Sam.
Well, you're very welcome, sir. Anything else that we can do for you, just let us know, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. You take care. Good luck with your move.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. And there you have it. Call up Traxxas. If you go to their website, under featured list, to achieve 50 miles an hour, and I'll try to put it on the screen right here. So under Traxxas, where is it? 50 miles an hour with 2 4S LiPo batteries and included optional spur gear. Let's see if we can scroll back. The featured list. I just scrolled down. It basically has the photo gallery, Xmaxx 4x4 data. It'll have truck specs, motor specs, ESC specs. Just click on featured list and this list pops up and it tells you what's included. So what's included should be that included optional spur gear. What I suggest is anybody that's purchased one, give Traxxas a call. I know somebody in the comment section said they called Traxxas and they said no, it doesn't come with it, and they didn't send them a spur gear. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I called Traxxas whenever I had an issue, and I've been very fortunate and spoke to many people there. Whoever answers the phone this time was Sam, and this time Sam is he was as shocked as I was that it wasn't in the bag. And sure enough, under the featured list, now he was looking up an XRT. I don't know how that happened, but I heard the 2050 gearing, and I know that's the XRT gearing. So just do your research before you call. I know it's taken me a little while to call Traxxas, but I want to have all my ducks in the row. So when I do call, I have the answer. So if somebody tells me, no, it's not included with the Xmaxx Ultimate, then I'm going to argue my case saying, well, I went to your website, I looked at the product, I checked out every component that's supposed to be with it, and it's not there. So that way you argue your case. And then, you also argue your case, you're paying $1,500 for this RC. You think Traxxas really cares about a optional spur gear? I mean, I bought 2 of these things. You're talking, well over $3,000. So, but the reason I'm doing this video today is I need to tear down my original Xmaxx. This thing's only like 6 weeks old. I bought this before those came out, and every video I've done on this, I get nailed in the comment sections about that thing is noisy, it's got a mesh problem, blah, blah, blah. You guys already know. I changed out the spur and pinion, and I didn't see anything wrong with them, but I swapped them out anyway. Still made the same noise. Then I took all the diffs apart. I put in white lithium grease, half a tube, front, rear, center. Still made no difference. Added a little bit to the pinion and spur, it gets quiet for a minute, but as soon as you run it, it flings all that grease off and it's noisy again. So I don't know what the deal is and why it's so noisy. I do know at this point I have some bearings going out, so I need to service the bearings anyway. So I'm going to tear this whole thing apart and see if I can figure out, well, what's making all this noise. Is the motor crooked? And I tried shifting the motor left and right. I still have the pins in there, but you can pry it left and right, and literally running it with everything apart, I couldn't find anything. I did this, you know, before the last video of me running this, because I had to replace one of the rear bearings. I decided, you know, let me go up to my hobby shop. That way if I need anything, I can just pick it up. And I've inspected this whole thing and it runs fine. It's just, I agree, it's a little noisier. And I've noticed this over time. My orange one was the same way. And same thing with my Xmaxx Ultimates. Both of them sound different. And when you put in the optional gearing, when you go to a 46 tooth, it's spinning everything up faster and the noise gets louder. Right now they have 54s in them. If I put the 54 back in this Xmaxx, which is the stock gearing, it is going to be quieter, but it's going to be slower. It's quieter because it's not spinning everything as fast. So I want to inspect everything. I want to make sure all the bearings are good. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I just wanted to get everything out there for you guys. With this optional spur, it should be included in the bag, and they're just not. They're not there. And I think it's something Traxxas overlooked, you know, like I've been on RCs for many, many years, and you know, it was kind of like when I think the Sledge was first released and the axles were falling out. The O-rings weren't in there, you know, but they were on the parts list. So people knew that, hey, this thing should have had an O-ring in it. Every manufacturer has a problem on a new drop, some more than others. Traxxas, you know, seems to be missing parts sending you. So definitely go through everything, look at it when you get a new RC car. Make sure you have everything you paid for and go from there. But we'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and get this body off and we're going to start tearing this thing down. Alright, let's start knocking this thing down. See all the white lithium grease I stuck in there? Well greased. Bearings are good. Gotta get some heat on that motor. Really sounds like the front diff. ahead, get everything set aside. We're going to go ahead, pull apart the front. Might be a problem with shimming on the front differential. Yeah, 100% in this front. It's even notchy. It's even notchy up here. This is the motor disconnected. See all the white lithium grease I stuck in there. See, the back's quiet, front's noisy as hell. So I think our problem is going to be this front diff. Alright, so here's the diff, 7880. This is a stock diff, $55. But this is a brand new RC, and that's what's getting me. I will be calling Traxxas and seeing if I can get this warranted as well, but we're going to go ahead and pull this one out of the bag, and hopefully it's not this pinion issue, and it might be. Pull this pinion out. See, I can feel a rough spot on that. Just doesn't feel, even on this one. I wonder if there's a shimming issue with it. I need the bearings on it. So listen now. See how bad that sounds? Yep. I think something's wrong with the pinion. There you go. It's got a rough patch on it. Yeah, it's definitely got a rough patch on it. takes to take this thing apart. Two, three, four. So these four. Might as well take the bumper off now to get that light through there. Oh, there isn't a screw in there. Oh, the steering servo. Getting white lithium grease all over my hands. Go. Which I should probably do the servo saver and servo at this time. Which I'll have to pull the upper control arms, I believe. That just popped in there. Yep. Oh, that bearing goes right there. That bearing doesn't even need to be up in there. Yeah, that's where that bearing was. That's funny, they stuck a bearing in there. First time I seen them put a bearing right here, because that's for the XRT. And that'll allow me to take off this top cover. Once I get the steering out of the way. Oh, and it's broken, like I tell people. This one is already broken. covered in dirt. There's our pinion. So that constantly happens and you don't realize it's broken until you're pulling things apart. But somewhere this is already broken on the Xmaxx. But here's our pinion. Well, I just checked and I have Xmaxx upper, and this is for the rear, 7720X. This is the new part number, and this is the upper for the front. So, bulkheads. So, we do have the bulkheads to fix it. And this is why on my original Xmaxxes, I went ahead and fixed them so they'll never break again. Is that you take one of these tie bars in the front, you drill holes completely through, and you put one in the rear so that you support front and rear. But I assume when the kid was running it, because I haven't crashed that bad yet, it probably broke. And that'll cause stress on your upper control arms, and you'll eventually break a control arm, an upper control arm, or pull a pin. But they'll run a long time with them broken like that. There we go. See, that does pull out. It will pull. Oh, it sits in the other groove. So no, it won't pull out. Will it? I don't think so. I think it will. There's nothing really stopping this from sliding in and out. Really nothing stopping that pinion from coming out. But I want to check this bearing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up because there's a lot of sand and grit in here. We'll be right back. Alright, went ahead and got this cleaned up. But here's the little piece that fell out of the bulkhead, and I've shown this several times. This is a weak point on the Xmaxxes and the XRTs, and most people don't even notice these snap off. This broke off the top, and when I pulled the pin and took off the shock tower is when this piece falls off. So you'll notice a little crack that happens in it, and sometimes if it's dirty you might not even notice it, but this is a very common issue and a weak point on an Xmaxx. Now, what does it affect? I've run them for years with this piece missing, and what happens is the pin starts to flex in the back here, and it relies on the shock tower and this front part and the metal strap, and then you'll end up with play here. And then what will happen over time is you'll start breaking control arms. It'll start snapping the control arms on bad landings because the pin is moving around, and you won't catch it. You'll throw a pin in it and throw a new control arm in it, and then you'll break another control arm and another control arm. When this piece is here and it's not broken, it supports it in the rear, and you don't break control arms like that very often. So I knew that there was an issue, and I started looking into it, and sure enough, I found both my Xmaxxes and my XRT had this issue, and I have videos on how to solve that. So I'm going to get this thing put back together, but that's going to end this video. This bearing being up here, and this whole deal with this front half of the RC on this chassis. There is a chassis shared parts with the XRT and the Xmaxx now, and it looks like they've revised it because this is the first time. This bearing doesn't need to be here on this RC, but I think they do this so that they standardize the parts and use them back and forth. This is very unusual for me to see that. That means that this piece is also going to be the same as an Xmaxx or XRT, along with this bearing right here. So, because the drive shaft on an XRT would come through here somehow, or I don't even know what this thing is for with this bearing. First time I've seen it. So, but whatever. This is going to end this episode, and I'm going to finish working on this because the video is getting too long. So we're going to start to throw all this back together and see if the differential itself, the diff and pinion, is going to quiet up this noise, or is there a problem now with the parts that are redesigned to work on the XRT and the Xmaxx? Is that creating an issue? I don't know. I've noticed that a lot of the Xmaxxes are coming more noisy now, and I don't know if this is a result of it. I just don't know. I know it's not creating the RC to stop running, just like this upper bulkhead. When they break, the RC never really stops running. You don't even realize that you have an issue. It's just a bad landing that broke a piece of plastic off somewhere. So, but we're going to get this thing all back together. We're going to get everything lubed up, and we'll see if this solves the issue, and then we'll call Traxxas back once we know 100% what the issue is, and see if they'll cover the parts. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Comment down below. Any of you guys had any of these issues? A noisy front diff? Brand new RC? This thing I think has 6 battery packs through it now, and it's been noisy from basically the first time I ran this thing. It just tended to get noisy, more noisy, more noisy. Everybody was commenting about it, so now we're looking into it. There we go. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.